to another LinuxGameCast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. This week, the Smach Zero is open for pre-orders. They don't have an actual product yet, but, just trust them on this one. Did you see the Interstellar Marines Let's Play ? No ? Well, that's because they pulled it. We'll tell you why. And are you pants-on heads retarded? The developers behind Divinity, Original Sin, are banking on it.
Remember when people would say that video games make kids want to murder their parents? Well, Linux gamers finally get a chance to live out that fantasy. NVIDIA doesn't contribute to open source, but at least they do make cool shit for Linux. And do you want to play an open source Pokemon? Well, neither do I!
America wins the Dota 2 International Tournament. Valve must be real poor after paying $18 million for the prizes. Oh, wait. Mesa introduces OpenGL 4.2 support, and no one can use it. Again, I ask, what the hell are Intel and AMD doing? The Odroid C1 Plus releases for 35 wet stinkies. And this bit of news makes me ponder what I'm doing with my life.
Rotting.
Then I'm Vince Stone here at LGC Actual, switching the bets, doing this Nightmare Fuel, joined every week by our Team Canadian podcaster, Yeah! And what's up all the way from Space, Portugal?
Yeah, you bake a pretty cake.
And together with Chat Realm Dynamic, we form a bit of a cocaine Voltron. Before we get started, we'd like to see what's going on in each other's life organs. I'll go first this week just because it's kind of neat. I learned something, and I had a very genuine TIL moment when I found out that Capcom actually, no shit, released a version of Rockman Mega Man for the Genesis. And not only that, it was a remake of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, plus a few extra levels if you beat all three of those. That's a real thing. I'm going to have to go try Emu Paradise. Oh, shit, it's a real thing. And, it's pretty much been my week replaying that. That was a bit of neat sauce. What's up, Jay, baby?
Oh, not much. Busy week at work. Not anything really remotely going on. Except roommate was playing FTL, and I'm like, well, shit, now I gotta play FTL again. So, that black hole has reopened.
That's it?
That's racist. That's racist, yes, and that's it.
I finished Shadow of Mordor, and I was very, very disappointed with the final boss. No spoilers, but it's just QTs. You get like 4 QTs, and congratulations, you get the credits. At least the game doesn't actually end. You can keep on playing it, but QTs.
There's also, you got all the DLC and the other missions, and then there's the open-ended one, and...
But that was the main campaign! I mean, what kind of a bullshit, ass-backwards final boss are 4 QTs?
Well, you have to keep in mind that the series has a history of, anticlimaxes, considering the big epic movie to decide the results of good and evil ended with, buzzards picking these people up and taking them home, so...
But one thing that never really needs extra DLC? That's a horse, J-Baby.
No, the horse needs some DLC because, virtual reality is coming soon, and soon you can experience the most lifelike method, beating the dead horse for yourself. It's our Steam update. Oh yeah, no, VR's totally coming. Yeah. Just listen to what this guy has to say.
Yeah, it's a professor from our campus. Let's take a listen.
Right now, the plan is PC or Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Okay.
That is a broad statement if I have ever heard one.
Well, J-Man, tell the people what that was all about. Maybe they don't know.
So this is an interview from Valve's, or is this HTC or Valve's PR guy?
That was HTC.
No, it's HTC. Yeah, this is Jeff Gaddis.
Yes,
he's in charge of marketing. So really, if you take the time to listen to this. This entire video, the interesting parts go from about 11:54 to the end of the video. He's saying, yeah, we're targeting Windows, Mac, and Linux, and blah blah blah, but he doesn't really say anything. Why? Because he's a marketing guy. a couple times these guys ask him technical questions, and he's like, well, I don't know. I'm just a marketing guy. But it's good that you guys know about it. Yeah, we're excited to get these into the hands of players and developers and blah, 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 blah. Nothing really concrete, nothing really substantial.
But the big thing you definitely want to take away from this, and you're like, oh, HTC, maybe you don't know. They're the ones making Valve's VR gear. I mean, they're in bed organs with each other.
No.
And a lot of people, especially on the Reddits, they took this and they're like, oh my God, it's confirmed. The marketing guy doesn't confirm anything. I mean, for all we know, Valve sitting there going, yeah, whatever. Well, I'll get around to it. Not saying he's not being 100% genuinely honest, Austin. I hope he is. But you really shouldn't take that as confirmation, should you be, man?
No, you shouldn't. And I don't know. Valve tends to deliver, even if a little bit late, because, Valve time. And it would be nice to actually have a VR headset working properly under Linux after the Oculus kind of went, yeah, Facebook owns us now. Microsoft kind of has a share of those guys, so we're not going to bother. But I might actually pick up the Vive if someone releases one of those porn games for Linux for Raisins.
You mean long as it comes with the Redwood DLC?
Yes.
Yes. DLC, that's what they call it, because you can totally download wigs. I don't know. Half of me wants to say this is going to end up being like another Kinect situation where, oh yeah, it's revolutionary, it's mind-blowing, blah, 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 blah. It's a $500 peripheral that you wear on your face that not every game is good for.
I don't know, Brad, if I can actually take that, because everyone who played with Kinect was like, that's kind of neat. The only thing that Kinect did was a lot of like ComSci researchers was like, we can do actual useful shit for this. And Microsoft was like, let's take that off the Xbox. Nobody wants it because it's fucking up with our price. Everyone I've talked to that's actually touched this thing is like, that's amazing, but take that with a grain of chainsaw. You don't know until it's actually hugging your face.
It's excitable nerds getting excited about new pieces of like cool technology, which is entirely understandable. It's no fault of theirs. They see something that they view as a game changer and they get excited.
Here's something I don't think people genuinely think about is when this comes out, you are going to need a stupidly high-end PC in order to play this business.
What was it, like 2K screens each go into your eyes? Yeah, so yeah, that's not going to be something you can plug your laptop into. But you can plug your laptop into
Christmas.
Also, yes. Tell them about the Smach.
When you're talking to Bay and you just want to smash, I mean, that's different. This is the Smach Zero, formerly known as the Steam Boy.
Smach, man.
Portable Steam machine pre-order and date and price. And, they showed up with reading material, pictures, and no functional prototype. And what is this? You never heard about it. It's this thing. It used to be called the Steam Boy. It had
it's called the Game Gear 2 now.
Areola controllers. I mean, this is how you know it's a render, because that the one here on the left has actually changed to more of a D-pad type system. It's got 4 gigajoules of RAM, 32 gigajoules of internal memory, 5-inch touchscreen, 720p resolution, HDMI video output, 4G. Pro model only, and this is running an AMD embedded G-Series SoC. Eagle with a Jaguar. Based CPU, GCN-based Radeon graphics, so that's definitely going to be a thing. J-Man, what's this thing going to cost us?
It's going to be about $300, but one thing that really concerns me is this is using the same family of CPUs that are currently in the PlayStation 4, Xbox One. So I'm curious, how much battery life are you actually going to get out of it? Are we gonna go back to Game Gear levels where you buy like an entire box of AA batteries and that'll maybe last you a road trip, or I don't know, is AMD going to magically pull power management out of their ass when they fail to do so?
Even power management. When I'm looking at thing, naturally it's going to have a integrated lithium-ion polymer battery, but
what about the thermal profile?
It's how small they can actually get the AMD parts, which you're not going to be able to get it that fucking small. I mean, 90% of this thing would have to be battery sauce, but that's not even what I'm worried about, because let's talk about 2 scenarios, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
This is the highly unrealistic scenario. Let's just say it ships, but it's underpowered and completely unsupported and hella cheap on the build quality. We're talking like some knockoff Chinese tablet. Not the good Chinese tablets. They're like
3D printed case.
Just bad stuff. This is more likely. It never ships because Raisin X, baby. That's a show title. Raisin
Well,
X.
you were bringing something up earlier this week about it's probably not going to be an official Steam controller either. It's going to be their interpretation of it.
Expand on that.
And
Well, no,
don't know.
you and I were talking about this when we were on that call earlier this week, where you were. Was it you or someone else? I don't recall. But yeah, no, there's no way Valve's going to be giving that up right away for some product to just start selling it willy-nilly. So you were mentioning it's probably going to be some Chinese-made interpretation of these touchpads and so
Maybe
on and so
how
forth.
it should work. But talk about those AMD graphics as somebody who has experience with them.
Here's the thing. If you can get FGLRX working, power management works all right. Performance kind of sucks, but power management works. They're going to have a quad-core Jaguar, which is... It's pulling around half of the same processing power than the Xbox One and the PS4. So maybe they can, I don't know, put the idle power drain to like 5 watts. If they can get FGLRX working as it should, which they kind of have to.
And it works on SteamOS right now, so I mean...
Yeah. But... I don't know, it is FGLRX. You're dealing with FGLRX on Linux at that point. And they're asking for $330 or 300 euros or 200 pounds for the pre-orders. That's a pretty big leap
This
of
is
faith.
really the final bow I want to put on this. I mean, if you're sneezy
I am.
Gesundheit.
and your name's not...
It's all that cocaine up my nose.
That's
I'm
brilliant.
taking after Snowflame.
Yes! If you really want to back this, because to the best of my knowledge, they've never demoed a physical prototype of this. At least, Brad, wait until they show something that actually works, and it's in the hands of people like us. It'd be a good idea to ship us one, because there's a billion things that when we're talking about what I said, it never ships because Raisin X, they could have the best intentions. And I've seen this happen with other people who've tried to produce, because, they're going to be refabbing someplace in China, and you never know. This happened recently to somebody I knew. They turned around and went, yeah, we really couldn't build it for that price, but we've already done the run, and you're going to have to pay us for it, and you're not going to get your money back. It's up to you, Brad. So, yeah, we're waiting until some units are actually out and about before we even think about that. But don't lose control just yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, no, speaking of units, this is a lovely tweet from the folks at Milky Tea Studios. You might have heard of them. They made that Coffin Dodgers game that we threw chairs at a while ago. And they say, it's here! We finally got our hands on a very glossy Steam controller. Thanks, Valve. And so we get a picture of the actual unit. I mean, it looks pretty much like everything we've seen of it so far. I don't know. There's no banana for scale, so I have no idea how big this thing actually is. But I mean, I guess it's good that Valve are getting units out in the hands of developers.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I mean, it's nice to see one that's not a mothering render.
It's shiny.
We'll be talking about this
glossy,
later on in the show. P-Man, it looks like it'll be a motherfucker to play some platforms on this.
Without a proper D-pad, I sure as hell I'm not going to play them. But the glossiness, how long of people holding that controller does it take for the glossiness to start peeling off?
It's pre-greased. It's like expecting tons and tons of Dorito dust and whatnot, so it's just making easy to towel off.
And apparently, the Milky Tea Studios are the guys behind Coffin Dodgers, and it's great that they're going to make Coffin Dodgers work with the Steam controller, but there's no one playing that game anymore.
And I would say, I mean, again, like we were talking about earlier with just getting units. I'm still waiting for November, or if Valve deigns to send us a copy. Hi, Gabe. You wanna help a brother out?
Gabe,
Fellow fat.
call me. Okay, we'll take care of that.
We-
But
we-
up
we have your
next,
children.
Americans.
Fuck
Yeah.
It's the Dota 2 competition, the international tournament that happened over the past week. America came out on top. The team that won last year's actually finished last this year. The guys are called the Evil Geniuses, And you can see the video there from... There's actually a video. That'll be a link in the show notes, as usual. There's a video in this for the final, set. The very last game that actually won them the tournament. And it's like $6.6 million for Evil Geniuses. The second place got like 2-point-something million. And just to put things in scale, in the article at the bottom, they actually give you a little table with the highest paid prizes on other sports. It's like poker, 60 million. Then it's the Dota 2 International. Then it's Wimbledon.
Well, I mean, Wimbledon's gone downhill ever since those aliens started coming to Earth and turning people into Scotsmen. So,
but yeah, the winner's share for Wimbledon, the highest ever paid, was $2.9 million. So, second place in the International Dota 2 tournament pays almost the same as tennis.
And mothers from the 90s continue to gasp and faint at the fact that you can make money playing video games.
The only thing I really want to chime in on this one about is, can we just not call it esports? I think gaming is a sport, but if they just call it like gaming competition or something like that, because there's so many people that are like, gaming's not a sport, it would just shut them the fuck up.
Well, it's a sport in the same way that chess is a sport, or chess boxing is a real sport. But anyways, it's time for PewDiePie. Or sorry, I can't go. Let me see if I can squeeze my balls. PewDiePie!
Got me, brah. So this comes from the glorious PC Master Race subreddit, because this is where it was posted. And, credit what credit's due. False advertisement, you say. Blatant lying. Why, yes. That's how we expect to sell our game. Well, you're wondering what we're talking about, Brad. We're talking about Interstellar Marines and what they did. What did they do, you might? Let me tell you what they did. Let's check this out. We have Interstellar Marines. That looks like, what's his name?
PewDiePie.
Carton, bra.
And that's really the only
Angry
one.
Joe.
1002. I hope you got to read that, because that was their full.
I don't know.
That was their full disclaimer. But
Markiplier.
But you're looking at this and you're like, oh man, this is all these famous YouTubers playing Interstellar Marine, because you didn't read that disclaimer, Brad. That disclaimer said, well, what we did is we took their reaction videos, took out their little quarter and pasted it on top of our video in order to make you think that they were playing our game to help embiggen our sales. And you got to remember, these went into early access in 2013. Since then, they basically added a fucking gun to their game. And that's really all they've genuinely done. And we've taken a look at that video, and that's just bullshit. Yes, it's a 2.5-second warning, a disclaimer in mice type that no one even paid attention to. And yes, they were trying to promote their upcoming event, because they had we want a bunch of people playing reaction vids, which I find completely fucking laughable, because the servers are dead on this game. And they just wanted to get some people like, oh, they're playing it, maybe we'll play it, and all that. And this is retarded for 2 reasons. 2 reasons, possibly 3. 1, taking somebody else's reaction video, just their head area, and putting it on top of yours. That does not fall under fair use or transformative work, Brad.
What would that even be, though? Slander? Libel?
Just basic copyright infringement, because they're... Possibly the second reason, no one over the age of fucking 5 still watches reaction gaming videos. Okay? That's kind of telling of what you think your target market is. And it's not. Anybody else have some thoughts on this?
I don't know. I think you're a bit incorrect in one thing. No one over the age of 9 watches reaction gaming.
Okay, I might give you that.
I mean, they're still sort of developing their basic motor skills at the age of 5. But yeah, no, just the legal issue is kind of interesting. Yeah, no, is it outright copyright infringement, because that's how these guys make their livelihood and so on. I don't. It's just an interesting thought.
Well, J-Man, entertain me this. Wasn't the dick move of them people coming in?
Oh no, this is a massive dick move. You are literally taking people's livelihood at this point and
no. That's
pasting it on your product for advertisements.
Riddle me this, gentlemen. The dick move was when people went into their forums and hey, this was before the post even happened. People came into the forums on Steam and they never played your fucking game.
Yes.
Then they started deleting those posts.
Oh yeah, no, they had a total meltdown, and I am honestly surprised. someone on their 1 or 2 man marketing team didn't see this and went, nope, shut it down. We're no longer doing anything regarding this. Send out your apologies and let's shut it down. Because you know what happens when this kind of thing happens and gaming companies get on the defensive. All their potential customers get in a hissy fit bandwagon and then walk off. And then you've made whatever sales you've made, but then you're not getting any more money. You've Streisand affected yourself, and that's never a good
P-Man,
thing.
this couldn't possibly be a horribly bad thing for a game that's been in perma early access, and they have all intentions of staying that way until forever. It's not a bad thing, is it?
That is
right?
exactly where I was going. I was also going to ask, have they actually released that supposed Linux update that was coming?
Fuck no.
Nope.
And fuck these guys.
We must remember, of course, that this is in fact a Unity game. So, but up next,
it's an Unreal.
Ultimately, we can't all be stars on the dope show.
Is Interstellar Marines Unreal? But it was.
Oh no, Interstellar. No, that was the other one. Yeah, no.
Storm, that other first-person shooter that no one's playing.
Lucius.
This is you.
Yeah.
This is Lucius 2. And if you ever wanted a video game adaptation of Good Omens or The Omen, this is for you. I don't think there was, in fact, a Lucius 1. Was there? I didn't even bother looking that up. But you basically play a little. You play you play Damien from The Omen, and you wander around and you murder people. There's not really much of the gameplay displayed from the trailer. It kind of reminds me of a psychic version of that murderous schoolgirl game. But hey, at least it only runs on Intel processors, according to these guys.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, it's currently 50% off at $9.99.
At $10.
Yeah, I would totally pick up a copy if they give it to us for free, P-Man.
Oh yeah, sure.
But I've actually seen someone on YouTube play this game. This is kind of like a Rube Goldberg, and if you look up Rube Goldberg's name, it is actually Ruben Lucius Goldberg. So yeah, it's a Rube Goldberg machine kind of game that you have to murder people, like set off a chain event and kill as much people as possible. So yeah.
I don't know if I'm really into it. I can't remember the actual name of the game. I remember it was like 1994, 1993 or something like that. There was originally a DOS game where you're like a lobotomized patient and you had to escape from an asylum of some sorts. And that's kind of the vibe I got from this.
No, here you get put into an asylum because you supposedly, Damien saw the death of his parents and may have been damaged. Of course, he killed his parents, so that's why he's in the asylum. Yeah,
well, wasn't there already a game that was? Wasn't there a game that was already sort of a Rube Goldberg murder simulator that was a lot more cartooning than this?
It was full of mutants.
It wasn't full of mutants. It was just.
We might as well cut over that though. Mutant factions, formerly known as Subvane. Pedro, take it away.
Yep. It has been greenlit, and if the email that we got from the developer is to be believed, it is still free. You can still download whatever version it is now on their website.
That's what the Steam page seems to indicate, yeah.
Yeah, and when it does finally come out on Steam, it will still be free. So good on them for that. This is one of those...
It's like GTA.
It's kind of like Greedy Car Thieves. It's just an arena, and you get to shoot other people and drive cars around, except this one is actually slightly more competent than Greedy Car Thieves, or Street Arena, as it's called now. That's the one.
Maybe because this one was finished, and Greedy Car Thieves, they just took one of their alpha builds and slapped it on Steam. Yeah, that's our game. I don't know. As long as it's free, I think it's fine. I have no real desire to play it. And it looks kind of interesting. There's like some level up feature, and you can retain some stuff from
Zombie Co-op. Come on.
Oh wow! One of the top posts is from our pal Liam at Gaming on Linux. That's if you go into popular discussions, just above that portion. There it is.
Linux version. Video games.
Well, I
games,
guess
quote
that
unquote journalist,
been...
ladies and gentlemen.
What did he not know that it was originally a Linux game?
You never know.
You can't buy shit like that, son. Shut it down. We're out.
Shut
Cut
it
off
down.
the light.
Up next, NVIDIA doesn't contribute to open source. We've made that joke already. But you're going to hear it again and again and again until you just want to stab yourself in the ear.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the news. And just to throw a little curveball on the usual LGC programming, as it were, we're not talking about drivers straight away at the start of the news, but it's kind of sort of related.
Man.
Yeah, drivers are number 3. This is the Linux graphic debugger. Yeah, what a complaint a lot of people have these days is no, Linux or NVIDIA hates Linux and doesn't do anything for open source. That may be true. That you have to poke them with a stick repeatedly in order to get them to contribute anything to open source. But there are a lot of supercomputers and clusters that run Linux and use their high-end GPUs for all sorts of natural language and other applications that require tons and tons of parallel processing. But these guys have put out a Linux graphics debugger. You can connect it to a computer over SSH, and it will profile the OpenGL application. It'll attempt to inform you what you are doing wrong. It lets you break down individual scenes. It's actually quite a very powerful tool. You can download this from their site. You do need to register for a developer, but anyone is technically a developer.
It was kind of the thing. We were on a business talk. What was it, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
And, we were in the business of talking the business. Business is good, by the way. And
killing is our business, by the way.
During just the waiting time of someone else to get online, Strider is like, developer account, anybody can register, fuck the world. And so, yeah, just do it, jump in. I mean, that's your bee's knees. I'm really impressed that NVIDIA is playing ball. They're not talking shit. Like, well, maybe sometime next year we'll release this and we'll work with the open source drivers and they'll really get, NVIDIA's like, boom, right here, in your face, organ. Deal with it. Use it. Make things better. P-baby.
Yeah, when the news went up that this was available, I'm tweeting at Aculus, Flibbit, Ian Bullard from Aspire, and
everyone was like, yeah, Pedro, we already know about it. Thank you for telling us shit, Mr. Echo Chamber.
Actually, no. The Feral guys were like, oh, thanks. Our Linux team is already looking at it. Thanks for that. And Iculus just favorited the tweet, and Ian Bullard retweeted it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it clearly mentions their Tesla GPUs or their enterprise GPUs on this as well. So, I mean, it's good that they're putting out tools.
But Jordan, I'm worried. Will they just lock this in like they did the NVIDIA Hairworks, or can I just use this with any OpenGL compliant device?
I'm sorry. You're asking if NVIDIA is going to lock shit down. Have you been paying attention to anything for the past couple anyways, no, it's good that these tools are starting to trickle down, because as we've discussed it multiple times on the show, OpenGL is a nightmare to develop for.
Well, I guess that is definitely a closed system, but let's talk about something that's a bit more open.
Oh yeah,
open, he says.
And by open you mean giant open gaping asshole?
I mean, fill some time while I find the link.
No, you're talking about
link.
the Mesa drivers
that's the
that
link.
are the
you
third
the
article.
Right, it's the Larian one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the third article. Then, we are trained professionals at Linux podcasting. Right. Okay, so I'll kick on this. Larian is starting a Kickstarter for Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, if you're thinking, well, that seems a bit weird, it's because they haven't actually delivered Divinity Original Sin 1 for Linux, like was promised in their original Kickstarter, and in their announcement saying, oh yeah, we're totally doing it for the Enhanced Edition that we're totally working on right now for Linux, of course.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is just another example of people trying to dip back into the Kickstarter pool of checks that their ass cannot fucking cash. And this is just kind of sad, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I just got to calm down for a moment.
Some of these comments really give me cancer.
I need to paraphrase, because I've seen a lot of people, especially on Linux_gaming, saying things like, I'm going to have a hard time backing this. But, if you run that through the translator debullshittertron 9000, it basically comes out as I'm a filthy dual-booting heathen, and I'm going to play it on Windows anyway, and I'm going to back it, even though they fucked us over. And I'm definitely with Jordan on this. Yeah, they fucked us over, Brad, and they're like, well, we promised that, but we're totally giving you another promise that, the special edition, once we get that ready, but this is completely different, and we're totally going to do that too.
They haven't even gotten the enhanced edition out of the door, and they're like, oh, we need more money for a new game because it's going to be amazing, and blah, 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 blah. Listen, folks, do not back this, period. If you're thinking I'm going to have a hard time backing this, just go throw your computer out a window. It's useless to you right now.
P-Man, give me some thoughts. Give me some ideas. Give me some hints and allegations.
Can I finish my sentence?
Oh, fine.
Yeah. They've rained on their promise 3 times. They promised once with Divinity Dragon Commander. That's not happening. Oh yeah, once we finish Original Sin. They promised again with the Enhanced Edition. They promised again with Original Sin. Yeah, we'll work on it in the Enhanced Edition. And now they have a new game coming out. They're expecting funding for, and they haven't delivered the Linux version for the 2 games that they've already released. So do not back this. No money for Larian until we get what we're owed. Period. End of story.
This harkens to last month when I proposed that game developers should be forbidden to have another.
That's the show title. Forbidden.
From having another Kickstarter when they have failed to deliver on all of their promises from the previous one. This is another glaring example of why people should not be trusted with money until they have a game out.
Listen, man, Windows licenses are cheap. You can just go out and buy one and spend $100 on like a 60 gig SSD and install it and play it, man. But why are you complaining, you entitled freaking Linux users?
Pedro, I want you to, we promised there would be no mass, but I want you to help you. Let's just lowball it. Let's say there's just 1 million that count as active Steam users that run Linux, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. So let's say this game is going to come out at $19.99.
No, Original Sin came out at $14.99. $4.99.
$4.99.
$49.99. God damn it!
Come on,
we said there would be no math.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Stay with it.
All right, let's just say Original Sin.
Okay, let's say 50 quid. 50 quid. And what if only 1% of that million users bought it? What that would
1%. That's that's $500,000.
That's probably not worth keeping your damn word, Brad, because you failed to fuck mothering do that. F you, eat a bag. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're greedy. I don't like it, and you're a lying sack of shit. Up next.
Yes,
Driver,
up next.
Support for stuff no one can use.
Mesa now supports OpenGL 4.2. And new driver can actually push that.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, Intel's driver could do it if someone at that company got off their ass and actually got the 3 extensions that they need, 1 for OpenGL 4.1 and 2 for OpenGL 4.0.
Well, there goes our free Intel chips. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, they're too busy paying Valve to write their Mantle Mesa driver. Come on, man. You think they have the manpower to finish 3 things?
Intel is actually working with the Kronos group to get Vulkan up and running. The Dota 2 demo that Valve showed with Vulkan was running on an Intel chip. So, yeah. But,
that ran super well. But actually, we're going to talk about Vulkan a little bit later. But, I mean, it's good that the open source drivers are getting the baseline for the support. We just need some drivers to actually fucking implement it. Up next.
Help with the themes?
Oh, yes. You know, if you had to take away something from this episode, the theme of it is that now Wine can actually understand and make use of GTK themes. That's what this is. This is the latest release of Wine Staging. This is 1749. And yeah, you may have noticed when you're running Wine, it looks a bit like ass. So now they've added the ability to be extended to have wine and wine safety and all the utilities be extended by GTK3 themes. It'll fit in with the rest of your desktop, and they've added a couple fixes to some new Microsoft Visual C 2015 stuff, compatibility, some initial compatibility for Windows 10, and apparently for WinHTTP they had the terminating character wrong, so they fixed that, and that fixed the bug with Final Fantasy 14 because millions of people are playing that game. But thoughts, gentlemen?
Almost as many people as World of Warcraft.
Ooh, sick burn, Brad. The only thing I took away from this was one has themes.
Right. They do, yeah.
Okay.
It goes from Windows 95 to Windows XP. That's the themes that they supported up until now. So now it'll actually look like a proper Linux.
If we're going to keep on talking about support, okay. Ubuntu!
Ubuntu! Yeah, by the way, links to all this crap in our show notes.
That's brilliant. Ubuntu wants to make it easier for you to install the latest NVIDIA drivers because you're running Ubuntu and don't know about Xorg edges. Why is this needed? It's not because Xorg edges, but it's a thing. They just want to get the latest and greatest up there. They've even put the PPA. It's Plus Archive on Ubuntu PPA. They got the NVIDIA drivers in there, and all I gotta say to this, Brad, you're kind of late because the Xorg
it actually looks like there's a couple Xorg edges packages in there.
Well, those guys have built my trust, and that's what I want to fucking rock and roll with because it just works. And at the end of the day, it's not terribly fucking hard. chmod start.run. Pedro's gonna be like, but you gotta disable light. And that's no big deal. You just disable light.
Yeah, but most people are afraid of it. Oh, I'm going to have to run the console mod only. I don't wanna.
Quit pretending you're an Arch user.
But what I'm curious about is, can we expect the packagers in charge of this particular PPA to include the properly patched version of FGLRX for Ubuntu?
Sure, that makes perfect sense, Pedro. Let's have these NVIDIA guys who package NVIDIA drivers start handling AMD and patching their shit. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's definitely just for NVIDIA at this point, and that's a fair damn question. But I guess AMD would have to release the shit first, now wouldn't they?
They would.
Yeah, they would.
So I'm sorry, you're running a 4.0 kernel? I don't know what that is. MOON, that spells Linux. Up next, we're talking about gnomes. Oh, no, we're not talking about gnomes. We're talking about droids.
Odroid C1 Plus.
No, we're going to talk
Tell me about it. Never heard of it.
It is an ARM board, as your typical Raspberry Pis, Banana Pis, what have yous. This one
that's an intense
goes for $35 or $37. They've actually increased the price. So yeah, it costs about the same as a Raspberry Pi 2, but in terms of performance, it should actually blow it out of the water. The Raspberry Pi 2 has a quad-core Cortex A7 at 900 megahertz. This one has a Cortex A5 at 1.5 gigahertz. Also quad-core. The GPU is slightly better than the Broadcom that they have on the Raspberry Pi 2. The big difference between this one and the previous Odroid C1 is that it's got an HDMI connector. They changed the HDMI connector from Type D to Type A. They've improved the SD card compatibility. Also, a fun fact about the SD card connector on this one, it also supports eMMC flash. Good on them. CEC function, whether the RTC backup battery is installed or not. No idea what that is, but I'm sure someone out there does. They say that it can be powered from the USB on-the-go port as well as a DC jack. So
okay, I guess my biggest question with this is, Jordan, why'd you put it in the fucking show notes?
I didn't put this in the fucking show notes. You put this in the fucking show notes. I have no idea why this is even here. I will say, I mean, it is tangentially related to Linux gaming if you have a Windows machine and you need to set up a Limelight streaming box, or if you're really, really hardcore into Battle for Wesnoth and need a dedicated machine for it. I mean,
there's definitely a couple of legitimate things. I mean, if you wanted to build a PlayStation, a MAME cabinet on steroids for 37 quid. Yeah, all right. That might be your dice, and plus it's new shit to play with, and we're Linux users, so it's
Toy
new
Store.
shit to play with.
Toy Store!
Done! Live long and prosper, son.
Oh yes, Vulcans and gnomes. So, this is a Power VR. This is a demo on a Power VR GPU. This is another one of these embedded like Mali Tegra type GPUs, and they've written some demos. They have one written in using OpenGL's GLES 3.0, and they have another one written in Vulkan. And look, woo! For our audio listeners, the OpenGL version is performing a lot worse on one CPU, and all those freaking threads on the Vulkan one are going woo. So it is multi-threaded as hell. Someone actually in the Reddit thread for this was pointing out, the Vulkan demo has screen tearing. I can't fucking see it for the life of me. All in all, this is really just a demo on an embedded developer board, but it looks good and it's promising. It definitely shows a drastic performance increase for writing your code in Vulkan versus OpenGL. Yes, that's the key one though. It's not real full open desktop grade OpenGL.
Yeah, I mean, completely agree with you on that. I think, well, does this directly correlate to Vulkan on the? No, it doesn't really necessarily directly correlate to Vulkan on the desktop. But
Steam preview.
You know, it's not a stretch to. It's like, well, if you can do this with mobile, just imagine how it's going to look on some real video cards, son. What's up, baby?
There's some real CPUs.
Yeah, and on the desktop end, you need to have a card that supports OpenGL 4.3 that translates to OpenGLES 3.1, which is the very first version of Vulkan. This one that they're showing here is actually Vulkan running on OpenGLES 3.2, and they actually mentioned that in the little text.
Yeah, this is a very good blog where they go through and explain everything.
They explain everything, and they say that it's not actually a fair comparison, but they wanted to have like the evolution of things. And to comment on the tearing thing that Jordan mentioned, I don't see it either.
Yeah, maybe our eyes are fucked up. Who knows? But it's a sign of things to come, and so far it looks pretty good.
Can we talk about something that really
we all
is
realize
fucked
that the future isn't metal.
Trigger warning! I just want...
Oh, yes.
Be prepared. If you're triggered by games that aren't done and still need a ton of work, you're about to have a real shit time. What is this? I've never heard of it.
Oh, wow. The video kept playing in my browser. Now it's on What if the dinosaurs never went extinct? What the fuck?
This is HooDieCam Studio
What's
announcement
happening?
trailer pre-alpha. Absolutely nobody asked for this. That's what it says in the trailer. What do? You get to play as, 1 of 5 cam girls, possibly 6?
Yeah.
No, this is like a Football Manager, but you're actually running sort of a smut studio. It's not a porn studio, it's a smut studio.
Hey man, don't disparage webcam strippers. They're just trying to make their living.
Hey, wait, hang on. No. Oh, no, we have a live feed from Empty right now. There it is.
I don't know. Maybe Wrench Turner's a bit into this too, but with his obsession with Honey Pop. I mean,
there was actually a bunch of people on Chat Realm that were into Honey Pop.
I know, but I look at a game like this, and the first thing I think of is needs more Wiimote integration. There needs to be something to do with that. I mean,
Fitbit, Wiimote, whatever's going to give you the tracking and all that. But they do say this is in pre-alpha. They're working on it, and it is going to be available for Linux, so it's definitely going to be a thing, son. I personally don't know what a Hoonie Poop is, but I do know back at Pedro, a lot of people that we're friends with on the Steams popping that fucking game. So I'm just saying that, Brad.
They're popping their honeys all right.
They're popping something.
But up next, do you guys remember Weeble stuff?
No.
Of course we don't. There's no such thing as Badger. Now this is from the same generation of things. We've talked about this before. This is Salad Fingers, the game. And Ven brought up something kind of interesting. The guy behind the original Salad Fingers basically gave these dudes the art assets and said, have that. Make a game as long as you don't claim that it's official or that you try to sell it for money. Go ahead. So it's available on itch.io. You can check it out. I don't think any of us actually gave it a whirl. I mean, Salad Fingers was a thing. I remember watching it back on Weevil stuff way back when in the early 2000s, but it was never a thing I really liked. What about you guys?
There's nothing wrong with some nadles.
I think I saw a couple of videos every now and again, but I honestly can't remember anything. They do say that as you're playing the game, you actually see the events of the original material take place just from a different perspective, so that's good, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
it's available on Linux.
it's available for download. This is way back in the billions of years ago when the future's past. At Newgrounds, and unfortunately for me, I mean, when I generally first watched it all those years ago, and I was like, that's fucked up. I kind of like it, but my distorted sense of humor has just like when SSJ 9
evolved,
right? So I'm like, that's
super Ven God, super Ven.
That's something I would give to my baby niece. I'm like, here, you play that. Maybe that's kind of weird. Who knows? But gotta catch more, right?
Oh yes. So we've talked about this before. This is Tuxamon.
We haven't mentioned this.
It's an open source version of Pokemon.
But now it's online.
And yeah, it's now it's has a banner. They've made some progress on it. I think I haven't actually checked this out from the last time we talked about it, mainly because I would have to learn an entirely new set of creatures. Apparently you can breed and mix and match them to it's kind of an interesting experiment that they've gone and attempted to reverse engineer a Pokemon style monster breeding, catching, fighting cockfight game, but it misses one of the core components that made Pokemon the runaway success that it was: a vibrant community filled with hyperactive 8-year-olds and people with the mental capacities of 8-year-olds in their 30s. And also the massive media campaign. I mean, Pokemon was a good game.
Wait. No. Just sit back and relax. Like it how doing Sparkly Cowboy Beats. Would you still compete in a Pokemon tournament, Jordan?
Oh, hell no, I get my ass kicked.
That's the only reason why.
Kids these days, they have everything min-maxed. It's impossible to beat them.
No, the min-maxing is the easy part. The hard part is these people get into like prediction and head games, and oh my god, it's ridiculous. It's like watching a game of chess.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, the response was no. I'm too old for this. I could get my ass kicked.
Dude, the people who play competitive Pokemon are older than I am. So
well, let's talk more about repurposed artwork, shall we?
Ooh,
yeah.
Retux. Okay, so
do you want to see my pecker for $50,000?
Basically. Flexible funding, though. You don't have to worry about that. Here's the thing. It's a free, Libre, and open source side-scrolling platform loosely inspired by Super Mario series. I just want to put the kibosh on this business because all this cat did is he took the art assets from Super Tux. And he's like, well, I made some new levels, and I got some new things, and I've redone that, and
I want $50,000.
If you give me $50,000, which basically boils down to, at the end of the day, Brad, as a Super Tux mod, no, don't do that. I'm not even getting into the legalities of how that's probably not going to jive with the GPL and all that when you distribute it.
You can totally sell it.
But it gets better, gentlemen. Because if he hits certain stretch goals, he'll release the source to a previously open source game that he's taken all the art assets for.
I don't believe for a second that he reverse engineered most of it. I mean, the art assets, sure, they're Creative Commons, whatever.
He's created some new levels using the existed engine.
The code itself is GPL, and if you link to GPL code, then your code is GPL open source. That's it.
Yep. And you don't necessarily, but as much as he might claim that he changed the assets and he did this and he did that, it still looks just like Super Tux.
Yeah,
it looks like that really bad Mario platformer from 10 years ago. And I'm sorry, if your first step out into the world for Bobby's first game is this old piece of busted shit, which I'm not knocking on it. I mean, it's a great piece of old busted shit, but it's not $50,000. And if you think,
where do you get away with thinking that?
Yeah, 20 quid for a copy of Retux. You'll send me a burn disk for 60.
He does say you get the full source code under the new general public license
that you're legally required to provide.
To anyone who purchases your software.
You have to provide if you're going to use it.
Oh man. What do we got up next, baby?
Up next, there's no time to explain. We have to get right to the review.
Damn it.
Yeah, and those balls aren't sufficiently busted because Ben's ass isn't on the floor. But welcome back. There's no time to explain. We have to do a game review for No Time to Explain from Tiny Built Games. This was actually originally a Newgrounds game written in Flash. They've rewritten it in Unity and put it out on PC so that if you're on your Windows or your Macs or your Linux, you can play a native version. It's $14.99 with stinkies in US dollars or euros. It's $16.99 if you're in Canada because Canada tax. And chase your future self through time and alternate realities while fighting giant monsters, collecting hats, and eating cake. No Time to Explain Remastered is the remake of Tiny Build's debut game. Now with multiplayer. And there is multiplayer, but I don't think any of us actually tried it out. But all these games have to be subjected to the CHAIRQUISITION. 1 chair means that it's garbage. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means that it's awesome sauce. And we have our categories: Doom, Mix with the Working, Shinny and Sounds Controls, and Foon. So let's kick this off. Then, did No Time to Explain make with the working?
Surprisingly, Brad, it did on the octa-core 8150 4K displayed 980 powered SSD YOLO RAID Ubuntu 1404 LTS box of business. It actually ran. You know, considering it's a fucking Unity game. Progress. That's all I can say about that. So I'm going to give it the 4 chairs.
See, I tried to update Macromedia Shockwave Player like 8 or 9 times before realizing that this is a native binary and you can just run it. And so on the Fedora 22 powered 64-bit AMD 1090Ti NVIDIA 980 powered 4K, fuck you, whatever the hell this system is, it gets 4 chairs because I didn't have to install Flash.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. On the AMD FX 8370E powered GTX 970 Strix backed with a Samsung or 2 Samsung 850 EVOs in YOLO RAID. It ran stupidly well, no problems. Again, Unity, progress. This was on Corora 21 64-bit, so 4 chairs.
All right, so that's 4 chairs mixed with the working. Up next is Shanny and Sounds. Then, how did this Flash game just bring your system to its knees?
He had a birthday this week, by the way. All right, here's the thing. This looks like a Flash game remade with Unity sauce. There's really no way to say that because, you know, Flash was vector-based and it kind of always scaled no matter how big or small you made it, Brad. And, well, that's pretty much the shinies. I mean, it looks like a Flash game that was ported to Unity, so it still kind of looks like a modern Flash game. Now, let's talk about the sounds. Well, the screaming guy is absolutely hilarious for about 5 fucking minutes. Then, like, shut up, please. Then you just put on Test Slayer, and you'll be done with it. Really, there's nothing to impress you here, audibly or visually. I mean, it looks like a freaking Flash game. It sounds like something you just want to cut off after 5 minutes and just play the damn game. So it's not busted. It's a thing. Middle of the road with the 2 chairs.
Yeah, I mean, they very clearly just took the assets from the Flash game and dropped them into Unity. But you can't really expect all that much from that. Like Ven said, the guy screaming is funny until, well, it's repeat number 483,976, and just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give it 1 chair because the graphics get the job done, and they're kind of cartoony, they're kind of cute, they're worth a laugh.
I mean, it holds a solid 60 frames a second. Well,
yeah, it's just crippling my 980 at 4K. Come on, you guys.
So 2 chairs?
Yeah, 2 chairs. 2 chairs.
All right.
Well, maybe I'm the one with the nostalgia glasses for this one because I played it on Newgrounds in 2005.
So did everyone else.
Yeah, the graphics, they're exactly the same. There's really nothing new here. The sounds, they actually did some trickery because you can actually tell there's some weird sampling going on, mostly during the screaming, and because of the fact that this game likes to set itself, I don't know, the volume's just louder in this game, be it the music or the sound effects, everything is just louder than anything else. So I'll be watching a YouTube video and I'll have the volume on my speakers a little higher than usual, and I would start the game and I'm like, oh crap, yeah, loud. So yeah, you peg that down a little bit, and afterwards I think it's perfectly fine. I'm just going to dig in a chair because it hurt my ears. So 3 chairs.
Okay. So that's 2 chairs for Shining Suns. Up next is Control. Then out of Control.
Well, once on Control, maybe not. Who knows? But here's the thing. It worked with our excluding controller. This is a basic run-of-the-mill. If it doesn't work with this, get off our mothering lawn, Brad. But you can't rebind anything, so I hate to say this. You lose 2 chairs out of the box. Unity, come on. You don't even give us the Unity screen of nope on the off chance that I hate myself enough to try to sort that. Actually, on this game, it might not have been 2 but there's like 3 buttons that shoot the fucking beam. This was spray and pray. And it was mapped to spray and pray. I mean, you jump with left trigger over here. You run, and you kind of shoot. Sometimes this always shoots in whatever direction, but sometimes this button is shoot, and this button is shoot. Yeah, it's just bad, and you can't do anything to fix it. But you can rebuy them on the keyboard. And, I don't play platforms on the mothering keyboard. That's what they're called, platformers. I'm just saying that. Our keyboard
Your keyboard's a platform.
It's not broken. Technically, it works. I would have had a lot better time if I could have made some sense with the controls, and a lot of people who would like to sit around, maybe playing some multiplayer on the mothering Steam box, would have also a lot better time, Brad, if they could, but you get 2 chairs, period, and I'm being generous on that one.
Yeah, no, I tried it with 3 different controllers, DualShock 3, DualShock 4.
One didn't survive.
Yeah, and the Xbox 360, which I have crushed in a fit of rage with this game. We'll get into that a little later in the fun section. But yeah, no, plug this guy. Caught it.
Water,
yes,
water.
it's not damaged. Yes, plug this guy in.
What is that?
I mean, it's the DualShock 4. It detects it, but yeah, the controls just outright don't fuck all work. Fire doesn't work. Navigation, you can move left and right. You can't really jump. It's pretty fucking bad. I mean, it's what Ven described on the Xbox controller, and it's really fucked up. And really, those analog sticks on the Xbox controllers are not really accurate, or they're not really positioned at all to give you a good deal of accuracy, which kind of sucks when you're in the precision platforming segment. It's like, oh, I actually, there's a lot of Flappy Bird segments that really do not get helped with the Xbox's analog sticks. Yeah, unbindable controls. Keyboard and mouse requires a ton of flailing with the mouse. It's not looking too good, Brad. 2 chairs.
Yeah, with the DualShock 2, which is currently plugged to the Steam box over there, it worked. I'm using Xbox DRV, and I have all those configs set up so that the DualShock 2 gets recognized as an Xbox 360 controller. It works. The mapping was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Why isn't the cross to jump as it should be? And yeah, sure, you want to have the right analog stick to have the fire. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mostly ended up playing it with the keyboard and the mouse. And you kind of need the keyboard and the mouse for some of the levels because you have, like Jordan said, you have to do a bit of the flailing around, trying to get to a specific platform, or if you're trying to go for the completionist run, to get all the hats. Yeah.
So many hats.
You can't rebind the controller settings, but you can rebind on the keyboard. And since I played it mostly with the keyboard, I'm not going to ding it 2 chairs right out of the box, but I'm going to have to ding it 1 because what the hell is with that controller mapping? 3 chairs.
Well, unless you have several keyboards and mice available for people on your couch when you have this up on multiplayer, this gets 2 chairs for controls. And finally, fun. Then let's just cut through this. Did you have fun?
All right, here we go. Take a breath, Organ.
You gotta love when he does the Sideshow Bob stepping on a rake noise.
The Bart, the. This is something you pick up, put down, and pick up. Is it rage quit sauce? Yep, you're right. Unfortunately, that's a bad thing. In my experience, I can take it or leave it, and more often than not, I'll leave it. This is compounded by the inability to save at boss fights. I'm stuck at shark! Suck my dick, I'm a shark boss. Hell,
It's a sharktopus, actually, but
most of my mothering playtime is in the few areas right before that fight. Genuinely, like 20 minutes of it. That's how long it took me to get there.
and the spike ceiling. Yeah.
I can blow through that part until I get to shark and all that business. And here's the dice, Brad. Every time I'm in the mood, Organ, to give the shark the business, I end up with a fistful of nope. Because I'm sick of the levels that I've played 1 billion times that I have to redo in order to get to them. Pick it up and put it down indeed. I put this business down at about an on, but maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I won't. Full disclosure, they gave us the keys for this game. At 60 minutes in right now, if I had paid for this game, I would have asked for a refund. But it was kind of entertaining, you know, for free. And okay, let's say, all right, let's do a review of this business and all that. I didn't hate it. It's not broken. It is technically a functional game, so give it 2 cheers, kind of begrudgingly.
Yeah, I mean, ultra hard platformers aren't really my dice. I'm not personally really good at them.
I like Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, it's not really my dice. My fingers are not that coordinated, and I really lack the patience to
have so many
sit down and learn each and every contour of every level, so I know the optimal path. It caused me to nope one of my controllers, and I genuinely dislike these types of games, if only for the fact that they start getting really expensive as I go through controllers, breaking them out of sheer frustration. I can recognize when one's competently done. I like the sense of humor in this game. It's very much a throwback to that classic Newgrounds style of humor. The gameplay is what it is. The controls don't really... if the controls were better, I might be a little more inclined to give it a better score, but really it gets 2 cheers just for being competent. No.
Well, I can't call myself plagiarizzo if I don't plagiarize something from Yahtzee Croshaw in some arbitrary amount of time. Shut the fuck up, George. I let you speak unimpeded, unhindered, so shut.
Yeah, original thoughts.
So,
not giant
Angry
air quotes.
Gets Shit Done. The game. The levels are small. They usually don't overstay their welcome, but like Ven already mentioned, if you put the game down and you exit the game, when you start it back up, you have to start from the beginning of that entire stage. And that can be kind of a pain in the ass, because the parts where you usually nope are around the boss fights. So, yeah. The shmup section that you get on the 3rd or 4th stage, right at the start, that it went on for far too long, and I was kind of losing my shit, but I eventually got through it. But I still think that the game would have been much better without that. I'm at the stage before last, and I'm playing with the little green guys. It's a pain in the ass. It's doable, but it's a pain in the ass. I've said this before, I'm not a platformer guy, but I like this one. Maybe it's the nostalgia glasses, maybe, I don't know. But I kind of like this one. It has its charm. I'm going to give it 3 chairs.
All right, so if we tally that all up, that's 2 chairs for fun, leading to a final score of 2 chairs. Now, it's an all right game. I'll give it that. It's your standard ultra hard platforming fare, but for the price, oh no.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to give my final thought on this. Earlier during the show, Empty said, oh, you guys are reviewing this. Maybe I'll pick it up. And he saw the price on Brad, $14.99. It's like, yeah. And that's kind of where I was like, yeah, if that was 75% off, maybe I would pick it up.
It's a Flash game.
Yeah, you got to think about this. 14, 15, what, £5 more, and you could buy Victor Vran.
Yep.
You want to talk about polar differences and like
Also
quality,
different
worlds
genres,
and infinite shit to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got to enjoy the balls, and I like their humor especially on the Steam page. I don't know where the
Starts
requirements.
up 70% of the time.
SteamOS, additional notes tested on various Linux versions, and it launches 70% of the time. Works great when it launches. Other times, we just had to try again.
We are not
Smiley face.
responsible for people trying to invent time machines.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, do not pick this up unless it's on a ridiculous sale, which I'm kind of guessing it will be eventually, and especially so that you cannot rebind your controls. I mean, that should be a dead giveaway from even if it is on sale. You do need to keep that in mind, B-Man.
Yeah, the whole bit of not being able to rebind the controller can be annoying, but for me,
Is annoying.
I ended up playing it on a keyboard and mouse, so it
Because you
wasn't
play
that
all
big a deal.
platformers on keyboard and mouse.
I don't actually play platformers all that often, and like I said earlier, maybe it's the nostalgia glasses, but I liked it. It's not 15 euros worth of like it, that's for damn sure. Wait for it to go on sale, definitely. But I kind of liked it.
All right, so that wraps that up. Coming up next, we discuss cryptocurrencies and why those goddamn Canadians all need to be rounded up and shoved in an oven.
Thank God for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the hate mail, my personal favorite time of the show. Yes. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you know the drill. LinuxGameCast.com, contact button, fill the form. It's the usual spiel. Just, of course, remember, if you're trying to promote your game, send us something we can play with. Otherwise, we'll make fun of you. But before we get to the hate mail proper, we have someone to thank this week, don't we?
Yes, in chat realm, Dynamic actually is right there. Smashly, aka Ashley G, has made with some wet stinky. Love them for that. That brings the total up to, what are we at nowadays? We're at $106.30 episodes a dollar. No, dollars an episode. That's the one. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. We still got a ways to go towards our next milestone goal, which is novelty mirrors, which you guys can make your own Cocaine Voltron along with the home game. But any amount really helps us a bunch. If you pledge us $5 or 5 cents an episode, then hell, you get access to the Let's Plays before they go public a week later, so that's pretty awesome. You can get a custom forum title, you can get access to the backers-only forum, you can get all sorts of interesting, cool shit. If you give us $50 an episode, you can actually show up on here. Empty did that, but he's given us $50 in labor, so...
Well, there's also maybe one thing I'm talking with P-Man about, kind of behind the scenes, maybe a midweek Wednesday recap episode. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, our time zones are different enough to where I can kind of do it at, 2, 3 o'clock, and, kind of have it out that evening. It'll be a thing, just like a recap of maybe not necessarily just gaming news, but some Linux shit thrown in there too, because it's all good. But let's do the hate mail!
Speaking of people wanting to give us money,
from Eric. And they're talking about monies, and they say, no Bitcoin on donations page. No, unfortunately, we only accept Coinye. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry you're not a gay fish. You never go, what is it, bass to mouth? Bass to trout?
You never go bass to
never
trout.
go bass to
Bass to
trout.
trout. Possible.
She was
show
60,
title.
and I swear.
Who knows? Here's one of the things, man. Digital currency, like that mined physical digital currency, is definitely going to be a thing. I don't know if it's going to be Bitcoin, Dogecoin, whatever it is ever going to be. One thing that really genuinely disappointed me last year, Patreon, we love you, Patreon, don't fuck us over. we are really looking at this Bitcoin thing, and we're going to make that an option, and that just they never got around to it. So, like right now with like our infrastructure and what we pull in for show, there's just not enough room there to manage Bitcoins and fluctuating currency and all that. And if I told you how many Bitcoins I accidentally mined back in 2006 when I hit that blockchain, you would try to find my address and come steal that hard drive. But
That's cute. You think you still have that hard drive.
what's up next, P-Baby?
Up next, Luke had some implications he'd like to make. He says, sorry for my ignorance. Is this supposed to be modeled after Jim Sterling's work? The gun to the head pose, the black blazer with red tie, the very similarly named podcast. What? Although I see you bring Linux in, which is nice. What's the deal here? You know, honestly...
Well, I mean, I do constantly never really wear this tie anymore. What he's talking about is a headshot picture on my G Plus account. Well, I'm doing the two-figure thing here in front of a green screen in 2011. Just putting that out there, okay? Pedro will attest, I didn't know what the fuck a Jim Sterling son was until last year.
Yeah.
I like his work. It's a bit all right. Not as much as P-Man. P-Man wants a Jim Sterling pillow, which...
Yes, I would like a...
I've heard creepy as shit go down, but yeah, I don't see any comparison with that. J-Man?
Thank God for me.
P-Man?
I'm flattered by whatever implication he's trying to make here. Although, I think he should put his tinfoil hat back on.
Huh? It seems legit, but let's talk about Henry. General Madness. Hello, Vin, Jordan, and Pedro. I have just watched Shadow of Mordor and really liked the episode because we release episodes. But why I am really here
Wrong here,
is to hate
yeah.
on Jewish people, and that, see, people don't know Sandy's also Jewish, so he's hating on two Jewish people, goofballs, that come on the show sometime. You two Canadians, he means Jews. He hates Jewish people.
Canadian
Jews, stop
yeah.
sucking. Will you do a review of Black Eyes? ? I've been looking at it for a while, and I want to know if I should buy it, period. Pedro and Vin, you do's great stuff, but I really don't like, and by Canadians, he means Jews. He's anti-Semitic, Jordan.
I know, it's pretty fucking terrible. I mean, this day and age, people really, really just can't get over the fact that Canadians are doing better than you. But I mean, at the very least, we can say we're sorry, eh?
No, seriously, that's debatable. At this point in time, Canada's economy is not doing so well. You can tell from the Steam store prices. It's always more expensive there.
You can tell from the conservative attack ads on the radio. My God, I was trying to think of like some David Caruso-esque pun to close off the episode with, but that shit is just not happening.
Why don't we just say shalom, motherfuckers? It goes on that bombshell. Let's cue the music. You can always find us around 9:30 Eastern Standard Moon Time. If you're curious about when that is, just type in time, Athens, Georgia. It'll be put directly into your eyepussies. I'm Vin Stone at Vin Stone, cleverly disguised on the Twitter nets, plus Vin Stone on the G pluses.
I'm Jordan Swung. You can find me on Twitter at The Burning Fool, on Google Plus at Plus Jordan Swung, and on FetLife at Liam Dowie.
I can call myself Plagium Marizzo all over again. You can find me at Unaccounted For on Twitter or plus Pedro Matos on Google Plus.
But Pedro, what is the Matrix?
What are you going to say, man? Did he take the red pill or the brown pill?
I'm probably both
pill.
looking at him.
It was the pink pill.
It's because he's brown. Get it?
It's a suppository.
Imagine
You ate a pill full of poop. Dynafire. That wasn't a pill, son.
That was a suppository. 5 dudes.